Hello, everybody. I am SunPsychic Jean, and please welcome my very special guest, her debut appearance, Kelly Callie Healer. Hi, Kelly.
Oh, Jean, that is so nice. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so honored to be here. Thank you for inviting me. Truly honored. Thank you.
You're very welcome. So I'm very excited that it is your debut appearance here on the SunPsychic Jean Show. And I just want to say hello to everybody in the chat. Thank you all for coming. We're going to be getting to know Kelly a little bit. I knew that was going to happen. A little bit more, and have her tell us a little bit about her background, and then we're going to talk about healing, on the different types of healing that she has is aware of it, and perhaps offers, and what that might look like to us. So Kelly, tell us a little bit about how you got started in your childhood. When did this begin for you?
At a really young age, and I mean, if I had to venture and say an age, I want to say probably the first recollection is probably like three-ish. I was seeing, I was seeing spirit coming into the house and coming out, um and like full on spirit, clothed, everything. And I would ask my family if they were seeing them, and they didn't. And that was a little bit, I want to say a little bit maybe discouraging, because I was hoping that they would say, yeah, I'm seeing them too. And then it progressively got even more, where I would hear them, and there was like so many, and it was like, they were talking. And as a kid, you just don't know. And not that I go, oh my gosh, I didn't have any support from my parents. It was just, they didn't know. And so I would ask them, are you hearing voices? Do you hear people talking? Do you hear people talking over each other? And it would be no. And it was kind of at that moment, after asking them several times if they're hearing it and saying no, that I knew I needed to shut it down. And so I shut it down at a young age. I want to say I was probably 5 or 6 when I shut it down. And but I would still see spirit and ancestors. And I do, this is something I want to say I was probably between kindergarten and first grade. And I was going to school, and it would be interesting. I would come home from school, and I kid you not, my floor would be covered in pennies, and
Oh,
like covered. And so I would like, now they just gave me validation, thank you. And so I would ask, I have a younger sister, my only sibling, and then my parents. And I'm like, I thought it was a joke, because I would go to them, I'm like, why are you guys putting pennies on my floor? Because I mean, we're talking, it would be covered. And so, and I think I was annoyed, because I would have to pick them up. It's like, it's just like so many. And I'm like, what is going on? And this happened. And I didn't know, you just didn't have the resources, as a
right.
kid, to know that, it was my spirit team and ancestors coming in and leaving me signs and messages. And so
Wow.
that was something that, yeah, I guess I had forgotten about that one. That one was something that was, that was interesting. And then, throughout my um you know school ages, I was very, very sensitive.
Hmm.
And I really, people just really didn't get me. Let's just put it that way. It's like, oh, you're just too sensitive, you're too emotional. And I was, it's like, I felt everything. And
Oh,
so, then went on to get married and have kids. And I was always intrigued. I would always get messages, and a lot of messages in my daydreams. In back then, I was meditating and didn't even realize I was meditating.
oh,
And because I don't even know if there was like a thing way back then called meditation. But I would go outside and sit, and I would get messages, and I was always, after I got married and had kids, I was always intrigued with the why and the knowing, and wanting to know more.
Mm,
And um and I would see sparks of light and orbs, and there too, even now as an adult, and being married, I would ask people, do you see like these balls of light? And sometimes they're clear, sometimes they're colored, and they can come in all different colors. And I would take pictures, and it would just be like everywhere, and everybody would look at me like I was nuts. And
right.
so it wasn't until probably, well, then I was always intrigued, and my husband and I, like on our anniversary or birthdays, we would always go to a psychic in the city. And I was always intrigued by that. And I was always told, you have a gift of knowing. And but then I would push more, and because how they would explain it is, it's like, you have a different gift than most people, and at some point you'll just know what it is. And I'm
Wow.
like, oh, okay. It's like, I knew I needed to kind of figure it out for myself. But it was probably in the early 2000s. I went to a shaman, and she just right out of the gate said, oh, you too? That's
Yep.
how. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
isn't it amazing? And now I didn't have the early childhood, but I had the sensitivity, and but the shaman was the one who was my gateway, and I was drawn, I was obsessed, I was looking for healing myself, and it was my first metaphysical or interdimensional type of experiences with a shaman. And that's what made me study shamanism for shamanic energy healing for 3 years. It was phenomenal. But that is it's amazing, and that we were able to complete and proceed with our own lives, even though all of this extracurricular things were happening to us, and guiding us, and what it just really solidifies for me that what is meant for us, we will be guided to. What is in our own path, what is they will bring us to this in some way, shape, or form. And when we have this really strong desire to find out more information and to get to know more, and the why, and it's that yearning, it's that calling. And they say what you are seeking is seeking you. And I love that because I find that to be so true repeatedly in my life over and over again. So do you want to just continue where you are? You said after you were married and had children, um, that things started to change a little bit, and you went to a shaman, and that's where I stopped you. So I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, no, thank you. Thank you. And my kids were older at that time, and I had gone to a shaman, and right out of the gate she said, why aren't you doing healing? And and I said, well, I don't know. I said, I don't know how. And she goes, yeah, you do. She goes, why aren't you using your gift? And I said, well, I guess I don't know. And she said, well, you have the gift. And then she gave me a task to go home and heal my husband. And she said, your husband's shoulder is bad. And she said, I want you to go home and heal it. And I remember like looking at her like with a deer in headlights, like, oh, okay. Okay, I guess I will try. And then I did, and I would work on him, and probably not every night, but most nights in bed, and he'd be sleeping, and I never told him about it.
Right, right.
And sometimes I would put my hands on his shoulder, sometimes I wouldn't. And it was probably a couple weeks later, um I said to him, how is your shoulder? And it stopped him, and he said, well, it feels good. He goes, it feels fine. He goes, that's really weird. And I said, it is really weird, isn't it? And then I said, that I had healed it. And there too, I mean, I say me, but it's not me. I'm just the vessel. It's my guides, my angels, my helpers, and God, and everything just working through me. But Jean, he looked at me like, mm-hmm,
Oh,
sure.
really?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, because I hadn't told him about what the shaman had told me. And so, he was just like, mm-hmm, okay, Kelly, whatever. And then it was shortly after that my cousin developed uh, a tumor or mass on her breast, and she came out to the house, and she had just come from the doctor. The doctor had just felt it, said that okay, this she needed to come back the following day because it seemed urgent. And anyway, my cousin was coming out to stay at my house for the weekend, and she called me and she said, I can't stay for the weekend. She said, I can only come for the night. She said, I have to go back into the city in the morning because I was just to the doctor, and she found a mass on my breast. And I remember telling her not to worry. I said, don't worry. I said, we're going to heal it. I said it. And she too, I think, was kind of like, oh, okay. And so I remember setting up a room for her, and I worked on her. And now that I've done it for, 16 years probably, I when I see green, I know that the person has received it. And
oh,
the darker the green, then I know it's like fully healed. And
wow.
so that when she got there and I worked on her, I saw green, and I said, um, you received it. I said, I think it's gone, but I said, I think we need to work on you in the morning too before you head back into the city to the doctor. And then I worked on her again, and I saw green, and I said, you're healed. And she was kind of like, oh, okay. She believed, but I think there's always that little sense of skepticism there,
Yeah.
and worry too, because she had just the day before been told by her doctor that there was a big problem. And anyway, she went in, and her husband met her at the doctor, and hours later she called me and she said, Kelly, it's gone. And she said the doctor was just baffled, like it was just there yesterday. And she said, I told the doctor that I had been out to your house and that you had done healing. And she said the doctor was pretty much speechless. And that's
Wow.
kind of where I think it was just the validation too, that, spirit was giving me to pursue and trust. And so then I would just, if somebody was going through something, or was sick or had an ailment, I would start sending them healing, and people would come and I would work on them. And then I would get messages while I was healing. And then I kind of tied that into it. And then eventually it just kind of turned into, it now, I don't want to call it, um, it's not a business, but I'm busy. Let's put it that way. I'm really busy.
So that's amazing. So you do physical like healings, and you also do emotional healings and energetic healings. And what would that look like?
Energetic healing is a 2-hour session. And so when a person schedules a session, I reach out to them, confirm, and then the day of their session, usually about an hour before, I send them breathing and relaxation techniques
Oh,
to
nice.
do, either during their session or before, just to kind of help them relax. I recommend that they're laying down somewhere comfortable, and just cozy, and then usually have water. They can call in their angels and guides, and I do that on my end. I call in my angels, my guides, and I call in the person that I'm working on too. And from there, then I have permission, and so I can go into their body, and I can feel where they're there's energy blockages. I can feel like where there's toxic energy. I literally feel it in my body, which
Yeah.
sometimes is uncomfortable. But that's and so I work on them then for an hour, And then I'm taking notes, and I work on them before the session too, just getting messages and stuff just to help them on their life path, and and help them to heal too. And
Oh,
so
wow.
so then when I'm done, we usually follow up with a video call or a regular phone call, and then I just go over where the cords in their body were, where there was blockages, the troubled areas in their body, and I'll literally give them a rundown of where it's at. And then from there, then I give them all the messages. And sometimes they have loved ones come in. I usually get a lot of names that come in that really want to be there to help with the healing. And then just the messages that I receive. And so then that's an hour phone call. So it's a 2-hour session that I spend
Wow.
with them.
That's fascinating. So you do distance healing is what it was what we were just describing is
Mhm.
that distance healing. They don't have to actually be in your presence, but you do also do hands-on or above the body type of in the physical presence.
Yeah.
So with you did describe a little bit about that you do feel and sense and see colors, and you can see sort of like in your mind's eye where the ailment may be in somebody's body. But is there somebody, like if they have grief, or if they have like anxiety, or like something
Mhm.
that's more of an emotional base, is that you
I
can
can
work on that
feel
as
that.
well?
Yeah, I definitely I feel it. And that too, I will write down um like anxiety, and I'll work on just trying to remove and heal that too. And when I'm in their body, because I have permission, I started at the top of their head, I work all the way down, and so I cut and I clear, just because I'm feeling areas, the whole body gets done. But where was I going to go with that? That Oh, I just lost my train of thought.
Do you give homework as well? Like, do you have them either soak in a bath or use essential oils or something like this? Or is it done after you're done?
I usually recommend that, if I pick up on that in, when I'm working on it before the session, like, what, really clearing your energy is really going to be beneficial for you, or, essential oils or a diffuser, I will give them that information. I'll give them that information too.
Mhm. And do you
But
ever
yeah,
work with crystals?
I, yes. Yes, I have my certain crystals that I use in my healing sessions that are just,
Yep.
they are phenomenal. They are like my
Workhorse.
go-to
They're the
healing.
work. They're like a
Yeah. Yeah.
workhorse.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
love I love I love working with crystals. And so
And
yeah,
so do you have a particular guide, or do you have like a team that you work with, or is a different guide come in for different things? Or honestly, I just want to say that Kelly, you have created your own style of healing and created this from out of your own experience of doing it over and over for different people, and which is priceless. I mean, it's just beautiful. It's so unique and so
oh,
powerful
thank you.
that you and your guides and your angels have led you to develop this style that you do. That's why I'm so intrigued. But you and a lot of
Yeah.
healers use certain techniques and other techniques, and I'm just curious about
Yeah.
how you do these types of techniques. And so with your guides, do you have like a healing team for this and a healing team for that? Or do you just trust that the divine energy comes through you and does healing, and you don't like really specify?
I I I call is it's always the same. I call in my angels, my guides, my helpers, and then I have there's a few ancestors on the other side
Oh,
that are always just boom boom boom, that they're there. And I call on God, and they, I mean, it's just they I
you
they,
trust.
yeah, they are always there. They are my team. And so that's, I call them in, I and like we talked backstage, we called them in before the show too, just to hang out and and be with us. And
It's,
and so you can get a session, and we that's fine. I do have people that are do like a monthly service, and
oh,
they come monthly and just get their energy cleared, and the cords cut, and then they get insight and whatnot. And I think it really what people the feedback that I get, it really increases their abilities and their intuition. And I think it's because their energy is so cleared and so connected, and because they stay on top of it. But the majority of my clients are monthly based, and then and then I have
that
ones that come like every like 3 months or every
that
year.
speaks, that says a lot. That says a lot for sure. Somebody to come back every month and to have this on a continuous basis. It's very telling. So do you work with chakras and clear each chakra, and do you work with the auric fields, or do you just like sort of encompass everything and say that the healing is coming in through all, like do you specify and work on each chakra, or only if you feel that that is what needs to be healed or needs healing?
That's a great question. Yeah, no, I definitely I go in, and I can tell which chakras are blocked, but I go in, and I open, clear, and align them all. And that too is a part of the session. That's just another like little spot of the session that I do, after I go in and clear the energy, and cut the cords and whatnot. Then I align the chakras. And I remembered what I was going to say. Once, because I have their permission, to go into their body to do the work. I also, if I'm picking up something that needs to be healed within them, and it can be like a person, it can be an ailment, it could be an ancestral wound, it could be a childhood wound. And typically I'll feel that. And then I spend time on that in the session too, just working on that and sending healing. But what I'll also do is I will tell my angels and my guides that we have permission to heal anything in their body. So if there's something that I'm not feeling or seeing, that we have permission to go in, they just give me validation. They're like, yeah, we do. And then we can heal that too.
Wow, that's fascinating. I was going to ask you about past lives, and so it's all encompassing when somebody would come, that there, if there is something in a past life that is affecting this lifetime's sort of health or energetic frequency, you would be able to pick up on that. You would be able to say, "Oh, this feels to me like there is something lingering from a past life, and this is what
Yeah.
is causing this." So you don't have to come in and say, "I want a past life healing," or it's all, I love that. I love that it's the clients that come to you for this, is they don't have to know why or what or how. And it's and it really is, that's beautiful. Or which chakra, like they're not going to say, I'm coming for chakra number.
Right. 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 And there's nothing that they need to do, and I think that's kind of maybe what people, are just going, oh my gosh, what do I have to do? And it's like you literally don't have to do anything. And even those breathing and relaxation techniques, if they don't want to read them, they don't have to read them. I mean, it's just, there's really nothing that they have to do other than, I just suggest them answering the phone when I call to give them the information. But yeah.
Right, right. I think it's important for us to develop our own practice of taking care of our own energy and aligning our chakras and clearing our energy, meditating and sleeping well, plenty of fluids. All of these things are really important, and sometimes even like a salt bath or some sort of a detoxing or some sort of a aromatherapy. So, is
Mhm.
this something that you only if it's called to you through your spirit team to suggest for the client? How
Yeah.
how does that work?
Yeah, I will if I get that they need to soak their feet in pink Himalayan salt or Epsom salt, I will share that. I'll even recommend, clearing their energy. If somebody doesn't have a bathtub, they can sprinkle Epsom salt or pink Himalayan salt in the bottom of their shower and stand in it, and that will clear their energy too. Sometimes I will get, like, there's a certain crystal that would be really beneficial and, and really healing for them, and I'll recommend that, or even an oil or a fragrance, like a flower of some sort that they can really connect to. I will, and the thing of it is, Jean, it's so weird. You just never know what's going to come through. I mean, it can be even like all of a sudden a song, I'll hear a song in my head and it'll be like, okay, you need to listen to the song. I don't know what the words of it is, but there's something that you need to know in
Right.
that. And so, you never know what's going to come through. But it's always beautiful.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. That is just amazing. And it's important for us as practitioners also to take care of ourselves as you are
Mm.
sipping your own water, your own lemon water. And I just, before we get into how you take care of yourself and your energy, I just wanted to say a group hello to everybody. Thank you all, everybody, for coming. And we want to learn a lot more about Kelly and what she does and how she does it and what healing is and what to expect from healing. And maybe if you have a question about general, like about what to expect from healing or something like this, not a personal, we're not doing personal questions, but if you have like a general question that we may not be covering here, feel free to pop it in. And I just want to say thank you very much. Everybody is saying what Kelly is a diamond level healer. And
Oh,
Annie Bear, how
Annie,
sweet. Thank you very
thank
much. Yeah.
you.
And CS is saying thank you for what you do.
Oh,
So it's an amazing, beautiful opportunity and gift that you have there, Kelly.
oh,
It's
Jean.
but it is a demanding process as well. So how is it that you might take care of yourself in order to be there for others?
And that is, it's huge. Self-care is really, really, really huge. Because a person's cup can get empty really, really fast when you're constantly working on others. So before sessions, it's always, I always shower and clear my energy. I'll sage and clear my energy, or I've got frankincense and myrrh that I will burn, um, just to kind of keep my energy and whatnot. And like you said, water. I mean, lots and lots and lots of water. Getting outside in nature. Ocean is so good for me, and just and eating healthy. But however, I love comfort food just as much as everybody,
Yeah.
as much as everybody else, or a piece of chocolate or whatnot. And another really important thing, and this is for everybody, that is in the chat, because if you're in here or here now or watching, chances are you're possibly sensitive too. And it's making sure that you have really good boundaries, because you have certain people, and sometimes it can be family even, that just need need a lot. And so I think a lot of it is recognizing when you just got to you just have to shut down, shut the phone off, just disconnect, because that is really beneficial for me, disconnecting. And sometimes it's just, I have my favorite programs that I like to watch, and some people would probably think that they're really silly, but it's like I can just tune into them and I can just forget about everything else. And so I really call it my therapy, because it really is therapy, because I just don't have to think or worry about anything else. And so that is really beneficial for me.
Hmm. Yep, I see. Yeah. Okay. So, where are you located? Where in the world are you located that you have a beautiful ocean nearby you?
I am in Simi Valley, California, and so
Oh,
like Malibu is probably about a half hour away, but it's so you got the whole coastline that um y- I don't get to it as much
Okay.
as
Yeah.
I like.
Right.
We were just to Carmel for a little vacation, and there's just something. It's just, either you love water or some people are scared of it, but I am definitely a water person, because I just, it's those waves coming in. It's like you can literally, when the waves come in, you can give them your worries, your stresses, almost like a meditation, and you can just give it, and then the ocean just takes it away.
Yep, absolutely. And that salt water is really very powerful. And the frequency of the ocean and the entity and the just the spirit of the ocean is just
Yeah.
so very healing. Now I'm all the way on the East Coast, so I go to the Jersey Shore when I go, but it's a lot of fun too. Yeah,
Oh
so
yeah.
but I the Pacific Ocean, it really has a whole different energy, I think. When I've vacationed out there. It has, I don't know, it has a lot more gusto to it somehow. So how important, and thank you, Standing or Andy Bear, I see you, and Fogo Pogo, I see your little uh I'll get to you guys in just one second. So how important is intention to your healing work and to healing in general?
Intention is huge. Not only intention is huge, but trust. And that goes not only for myself, but for the client. Because
Oh,
if the client comes to me and is kind of like, I don't know, they're still going to receive it. But if they really come in trusting and knowing that this is going to work, and they are going to see progress, and they're going to be, they're going to see and experience healing, it it makes a huge, huge, huge difference. So my intent and the person on the other ends, just their trust is huge.
yeah, absolutely. And I think that goes with for everything in our lives. If we have a good intention on, that the food that we're going to make is going to be nourishing to us, and that we trust that the food that we're going to make is going to be nourishing, it just, and, or, whatever it is, that the road that I'm traveling down is going to be the most beneficial for us. And your intention, our intention, it, our attitude, our thoughts are so very powerful, and it's really huge. And I love that it is such a huge part of your healing, as well as when I have an intention before I do my work, it is really very important as well. And then the people who trust me as well. It trust and intention are just so vital for our everyday lives. And I know that there are so many high vibrational, intelligent, and awakened or aware individuals here that are watching now and watching later. But it's a good reminder. Sometimes we get caught up in our job or the car or the whatever the vacation.
Life.
It's just a good reminder to say, oh yeah, what's my intention? It's just a good reminder. We always have intention, but it's really very powerful to have like an intention for your day, or an intention for the week, or an intention for an event or something like this. It's
It's just
really we're mhm.
it's so important. And even like when you pour yourself a glass of water, put your intentions in your water. And in the shower too, when the shower is coming down on you, you can put your intentions in that water, flowing into your body, and what you like what you exactly what you said, how you want your day to play out, what you expect to happen. I mean, there's so many ways that we can incorporate it, and there's ways that I'm sure that I haven't even realized yet how to incorporate it, because it's just we're all learning always.
Mhm. And I actually write on the side of my water bottle. I write healing. I write love. I write, all kinds of really neat things with
I
my
love
Sharpie.
that.
Mhm.
That's great. I
Love,
love that.
light. Uh-huh. Yeah. All kinds of high vibrational words. And if you're going to be eating or drinking it anyway, you might as well put your hands around it, even if it's a cup of tea, and just have an intention that this is infused with, and go ahead and enjoy that. Each one of us has more power than we realize that we can utilize and enhance and add to our days, because it's important in order to get through sometimes some of the tough stuff. So how important is imagination for you, Kelly? How much do you use your imagination through this healing process?
A lot, because when you're working on them, and when you go into the body, I I feel more than I see, but you still see, but you still put you imagine that part of the body, being cleared, the energy being cleared, the cords being cut, the chakras are being aligned. And so, it's you're literally imagining and seeing that happening. And and back to the intent. I mean, just even if a person just thinks about your food, if you're cooking food and you are putting love into that food, it tastes amazing. But if you're in a really crappy mood and you're making food, a lot of times, and when you eat it, it's just like, ugh. It's like you can taste it. So there really is something about your intentions and the vibrations that you have when you're cooking, and just even, yeah, just in our daily lives.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where it all happens. I mean, when we have our imagination, it's almost like in our mind's eye, and we can imagine these things that will assist us. And it is, would you say imagination is actually in a different frequency or a different realm? Sometimes I find that when I go into my imagination for a meditation or a journey, that I actually do travel. My frequency travels into a different realm, and it's very realistic. And I feel as though it's a different realm that we have access to. And when I say we, I'm not just talking about me and Kelly, I'm talking about everybody, we.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Totally, 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 totally. Yeah. And whether a person, I think some people might just chalk it up as like daydreams, but it really is. I really feel like it is a different dimension that a person is traveling in, and where we can access so much, visually, or feeling it, or sometimes even hearing it, that it's a great place to access information. Our imagination it is huge, and I don't think we give it enough credit.
Yep, absolutely. I like to use the word magical because it's so fun to say, but it's more realistic than magical. It's available to each and every one of us. And I think that, through our conditioning, through, when we were growing up, oh, that's nonsense. And that's, no, pay
Mhm.
no attention to, your whatever imaginary friend or whatever. We're talked out of it. And
Mhm.
it's really important to use our creativity. And I know that when I've and a couple of people here may have heard the one time I did a quantum healing, and the imagination that's required for quantum healing, and I usually allow others to correspond. I had somebody who had a pain, let's just say, in their throat. And
Mhm.
I said, "What color is it?" And they said, "It's like red or orange, like a rusty color." And I said, "All right, let me talk about myself, because that just reminded me." So I was having healing done, and it was my hip and my back was like very, very stiff, and was killing me. And so my friend asked me, what color was the pain, and I said it was a red rusty color, because this is better to talk about me. And so she said, okay, she said, so how do you think that how would you imagine, and she invited me to imagine that we get rid of this sort of pain that's in this rusty color, kind of a cloud, is what I was seeing. And I said, maybe like a faucet, like open up the faucet and let the rust fall, like run out of my hip. And so she said, okay, what's the faucet? What's it going to go into? And she said, I said, I have a bucket here that this rusty cloud is going to open up the faucet and run right into the bucket. And she's like, very good, very good. So this is all intention, imagination. And this is the magic of healing. And so then she said, now we have this rusty stiffness and pain that was from your back. Now it's in the bucket. How we're going to ask that Gaia help us to the earth help us to transmute it. How would you like to transmute it? And I said, I'm going to bring it outside. So I took it outside on my deck, and spontaneously, without me thinking of it, it turned into monarch butterflies, rusty color, and flew away. And that's what I did. I went,
Wow. Jean, that is amazing.
and needless to say, my back it wasn't 100%, but it felt so much better. And I was like, I'm like, I need to learn this stuff, because this was when my friend was doing it on me. I was like blown away. And I didn't even think of it. I just brought it outside and it spontaneously happened. It was.
That's a beautiful story. That is amazing. That is one to share, boy, because it really you saw the transformation right before your eyes.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. And
thank you for sharing that.
Oh, you're welcome. And it's possible. It's not only possible, but it's the way of the future. Don't you think, Kelly?
Mm-hmm. I really do. I really saw when I did my predictions for 2024 that we're really going to be coming into an era where people are going to, because we all can heal ourselves too. And so that people are going to look for natural, herbs and natural herbs, and just kind of going back to the old time days where, when they didn't have a Western medicine to heal. I mean, we're obviously always going to need Western medicine. But I really get that we're really coming into a time where people are going to really start working on healing themselves. They'll be going to a healer and working one-on-one, and then just looking for natural remedies. I just did something, and obviously I'm meant to say this, is I took the corn silk out, from the corn on the cob. I took the corn silk and boiled it. And I guess after you boil it, you can refrigerate it and drink it, or you can give it to your pets, and it helps with your kidney and bladder functions, and just to keep them, in order, because we have a kitty here in the house that has some kidney issues, and we have kidney issues and bladder issues that run on in my family too.
Oh.
And so when I heard that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm definitely going to try that, because this is like, and there too, it's having faith and just putting the energy in doing it and trying it. It's like, it's not going to hurt anything. It's corn silk.
Wow. Wow. That's beautiful. So do you also work with pets?
Not, I mean, I've worked on our pets here. I haven't, there's a few friends that I have sent healing to their pets, but typically no. I haven't, I haven't taken that on. But I mean, I'm sure I could. It's just, I'm really busy with people for now, but definitely if there was somebody that had a pet ailment, they could definitely reach out, and as you could too. I mean, do you work with pets at all in doing healings?
Well, I think it's not easy, because you don't get the feedback and they can't be participating in their own healing. But I have, my sister's dog had really bad hip issues, and I would just, send them a little bit of healing, but it does have its limitations.
Yeah.
But no, it's possible. It's really possible, you guys. And the more that we understand this, the more that we allow and invite in and realize the energetic beings that we are, and the available resources that are available to us. I am just my spirit guides have been urging me to talk about chakra healing, auras, auric healing, auric fields, or the
Mhm.
all of these things are becoming, and our sensitivity. I feel as though there's going to be like another field that is either going to be, I mean, we are obviously changing and
Mhm.
evolving in our frequency, and I feel it's only almost going to become, I don't know if it's another auric field or that we're going to become more like one of our auric fields. It just feels like there's an extra something coming on that we're going to be sort of floating in between. I don't know how to describe it. But have you had meditations or information coming through from your guides regarding the evolution of humanity or frequency changes or anything like this?
Yeah, I have, and and I typically do a monthly like energy update, just kind of giving people the rundown of what I'm feeling. However, I really dropped the ball this month. I didn't, just because the energy the energy is so I just didn't want to come on. And but what I should have done is I should have came on and just gave tips about self-care and self-healing and stuff like that. But I do get that, it's just it's the breakdown of the system. And I'm really getting that um the the light is going to win, and we are coming into a better time. It's going to require patience, and it's going to require a lot of time, and it's going to require all of us as light workers to shine our light as much as we can, because I'm really getting now until the end of the earth, or till the end of the earth. Why did I just say that? To the end of the year, that the darkness doesn't want this to happen. And so it's the darkness is going to be aggravated by the light. And so there's going to be some back and forth that we're just going to have to be really strong and work
It's
through.
it's part of evolution. It's part
Yeah.
of breaking through that that ceiling or that 3D construct or
Yep.
that um not something that's like holding us, not holding us down, but something that's weighing on us.
Yes.
It's this
Yeah.
burden that humanity carries, that we're raising above, and we're going to be more of our light being, of our light body and our energetic body, and higher frequency, which will
Yep.
then create a higher frequency reality around us, because our own frequency, and each of us individually creates our own reality and our own world around us. So when humanity raises our vibration, that means you guys raise your vibration. We all raise all of our vibrations. The reality around us will then reflect this. It's really important not to listen to everything we've been told or
Hmm.
to believe in certain places that they told us we had to go on Sundays. It's really you, and we all know the difference now. We all can feel the difference. And it's really important for us to work on our own energy and our own vibration and help to assist humanity. It's going to happen with or without us, but it'll be a lot smoother for each of us if we work on our own energetic bodies, our own energy fields, our own health, and work on, and I say health and I mean energetic health. I really
Yeah.
do. And it will help to assist the I guess the transition is
Yeah.
what I want to say.
And it really, to keep our vibration and our energy clear, and just, yeah, to be that light for others. I mean, I do see at some point even like telepathy is really going to be a thing. I mean, and now, even, yeah, just even as a community and being connected. I mean, a person can tap in and it's like, stuff already. And so I really feel and sense that it's just going to keep getting stronger and stronger
Yep.
and stronger. And the
Mhm.
frequencies that are coming in lately are so strong that it can be almost, I want to say almost too much, but it never is. But it's going to sometimes require us just to really just have some downtime and to rest, because the frequencies that are coming in that are really leveling us up and just allowing our light to even shine even brighter are really strong. It's beautiful. And we all signed up for this. We all signed up to be here to do this. And so if a
Mhm.
person's sitting there going, well, I don't feel any of this, you just probably aren't realizing it yet.
So I love that you said that. And telepathy has been something that my guides have been talking to me about for a while now, and they have, or I have learned through the researching this, that what is required for telepathy is authenticity and integrity. And what is authenticity and integrity? It is truth, you
Mhm.
know, because you can't have a telepathic message and be like coy or shy or playing games. It doesn't work that way. You have
Right.
to be authentic. You have to have integrity. You have to have honor and respect for the next soul next to you. And
Yeah.
it's been coming into me like crazy, this telepathy. And it is so close, it is so near, but it is available when that changes,
Mhm.
it's really, I'm excited, everybody. I don't know if you could tell, but I'm
Me
excited
too. Me too. Me too.
because I feel it. I feel it's all coming on. I do. So let me see. I see Annie Bear here says, "What stones might any of us add to our gardens to help ground these light codes?" So um, I love. Oh crap. Shungite, I would have to say, is the most grounding stone. Now, my personal favorite would be labradorite. And how about you, Kelly?
Shugite, I have a piece underneath my pillow over there. I put underneath my pillow, oh, probably about 2 weeks ago, to just to help sleep and whatnot, and because it is so beautiful. Um, I, I'm visualizing green stones, and I'm seeing like a really beautiful green stone right there, and I can't think of the name of it.
Fluorite, malachite, um,
Malachite would be
gr-
really, really beautiful, but it is expensive to be putting in in the garden. Um, oh my gosh.
is it green aventurine?
Yes, that's what it is. That's I get
I
there's a big piece right there, and that's what's
I
calling
posted that
calling
on
me.
my community page a few weeks back. I think it's really important. It's very affordable and it's very pedestrian, but it really is a powerhouse type of crystal. So I just invite everybody. If that's a wonderful question, thank you, Annie Bear, for
Yeah.
asking that. But it's really important to ground and to get a stone. And if you'd like a bracelet, sometimes they have those little bracelets with the stones, or a little necklace, or you have a picture of a stone and you can meditate or connect to that. You don't actually have to have the physical piece of crystal or stone with you. It does help and it's a lot of fun. It's really pretty, but
Yeah. Yeah, and a person can go to a crystal store and they have like the little just like the little like pieces like this like that are on the tree, and a
oh
person
yeah.
could get all kinds of the different ones. And I think jade would be really good too,
Mm.
for out there. And you could person could sprinkle them or bury them, whatever you're called to.
Wow, very nice. So, Fogo Pogo, thank you for your question. How do you reset between clients? That's a good question. Like, say you only have a short amount of time between them, or a spaced out Or how spaced out do you make your appointments? She's setting up her own business, is unsure how to schedule people.
That's a great question. And the thing of it is once you start, having clients and working on them, you're gonna find out real quickly how your energy level responds to it. For me and myself, because they are so. I'll plan an hour before the session, just clearing and setting the space and setting the attention, and then I have a 2-hour session, and sometimes it goes over. So I will only allow myself 1 to 2 sessions a day, typically one. And Mondays I don't usually have sessions because I'm working on the prep work for the clients that are coming up in the future. And then and then there's YouTube, so I'm doing lives too, and so I plan I plan on that too. And so you're going to want to space it out. And the thing of it is you're going to really want to, after your session, just recharge and regroup, and however that is for you. I mean, for me, it's throwing on my comfy clothes and turning on TV and chilling, and may have to shower again just to kind of clear out that energy. But that's what I would recommend. And then and I know it sounds like a person just says this over and over and over again, but lots and lots and lots of water. I mean, we're over 90% water, so you know and I really get that water just really raises our vibration.
Hmm. Absolutely. And for a healer, it's so much more intensive type of energetic, especially the way that you do it. You feel it, and it does take a lot of your energy and preparation, and then the renewing and reviving and coming back again. I love that you're doing the YouTube videos and that you're sharing some readings, you're sharing some cards, you're sharing some ideas.
Mhm.
So tell me what you like best about your being on YouTube and having this as a platform for yourself.
Y- a lot. It is, I think it's so great to just to share ideas and tips and tricks, and I never in a million years imagined that I would be on YouTube, because I don't even like my picture being taken. I don't like being on camera. And um and a shout out to Allie for just giving me those nudges, going, come, Kelly, do you want to come on? Because I didn't see that for myself. And I love reading cards, and I love just I love getting messages and being able to share, because I think that too is healing. And I do readings for my for clients. I mean, you can set up a healing service, or you can come for a reading, but I do it a little bit different. If somebody wants a reading, they submit the questions,
Oh,
and and then I get back to them either on a phone call or a video, and then I give them really in-depth answering to their questions. And so that and I know it's a little bit different than what everybody does, but that's how I've been doing it for years.
wow. Wow. That's amazing. Well, we are coming very close to the hour. I just want to thank each and every one of you for being here, for supporting us, for sharing your comments, for supporting Kelly. I think this is all your peeps in here saying, "Go, Kelly!"
Oh, thanks, you guys. Thank you,
and
thank you, thank you, thank
some new
you.
ones that went over and subscribed to your channel. And I do have her links below. And if it's somebody, how does somebody schedule with you for a healing session?
My email address is on my YouTube page, and you can send me an email, and then I'll reach back out. I'll reach out to them and give you my telephone number, and then we can correspond through text and whatnot. I'm also on Instagram, and um, you can reach out to me through the messages in Instagram too. But yeah, that's the best way. And I've gotten really better about checking my messages. So yeah, if a person reaches out, I will definitely get back to you as
Wow.
as soon as soon
Wow.
as I can.
Wow. Wonderful. Wonderful. So, Kelly, I would love to have you come back again and get a little bit more granular in our focus and perhaps take a look at certain things, whether it's crystals or whether it's, energetic healing or whether it's talking about, you know, self-care and things like this. And maybe involve the chat just a little bit more. I want it to be, this is your debut appearance here, and
Oh,
I wanted to make
Jean.
sure I gave you the proper attention. And but I would love for you to come back and just chat. There is not enough. There's not. There's you just can't talk about it enough. And I love the frequency, the energetic, the vibration. I love talking about it. My hands turn on. I get very energized. Everybody in the chat feels it raises everybody's vibration, and that itself in itself is healing. We can do
Oh,
this for ourselves, or you can come on over here and listen to a high vibrational chat. And this is why it's important to have high vibrational music, high vibrational flowers, or pictures of flowers, or something in your vicinity. High vibrational, clean, no clutter. These things, like anything that raises your vibration around you, is really going to support your energetic field. And having discussions like this and sharing information like this is really just one of my favorite things to do. So thank you so much for coming and for
thank
chatting.
you. Thank you for having me. And you're absolutely right, because it does, just talking about this does raise our vibration, and getting together again and just, talking about self-care. I mean, self-care is so important, and, especially in this time that we do take care of one another and take care of ourselves, that, if we can be supportive in that way, I think it's really a beautiful gift, and healing too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So where will you be next? Do you want to share your schedule? I didn't ask you earlier, but do you know where you will be next on YouTube, or when your next show is?
This week was a busy one. Tomorrow morning, I am going to be on with Terry at Holding Your Space. And then tomorrow night, I'm going to be on with um, Val from Illumination Portal and Allie. And then I have a break, and then next week the Dream Show, and then clients, and then I'm off to India for a couple weeks.
Wow, good for you. How lovely is that? Wow. Well, I'm so glad that you made time in between all this and came in and said hello. And I'm so glad that you came to join us here. And thank you again, Kelly, for all of
Thank
your
you.
sharing that you did. It was so great getting to know you. I knew what I knew about you, but I didn't get to meet you personally. Actually, you did. You came on my show, my little high vibrational show together. Didn't you come on there and say? I don't remember.
I think so. Yeah, I don't.
It was I had, like, where you have 10 people come on and everybody was coming on. I don't know. I know there's a lot of people that were coming on, but it's okay.
I know that we were on somebody's stage or channel together, celebrating something, someone together.
I'm sorry about that. And I just wanted to say hello to Scott Scorpio. And Scott is actually the one who recommended. He said, Jean, you have got to get together with Kelly. She is amazing. So
Oh,
thank you, Scott. It was because of you that we're here together. It took me a little while to get a hold of you and to get our schedules together, but I'm so glad that we did. And thank you again, everybody, for being here and being supportive and going over and subscribing to Kelly's channel. And it's Callie Healer on YouTube. And is it Callie Healer on
Instagram.
Instagram as
Yeah.
well?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Jean, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And thanks again, everybody. Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you enjoy this content, hit like, share, and subscribe. Remember to click the bell to be notified of future videos. Thanks again. Bye.